Welcome to Win with lifestyle entrepreneurs Josh Williams and Justin Knoll. Each week, we will be bringing you inspiring people or messages to help you win in every aspect of life.
What is up, y'all? How the heck are we? How you guys doing? Yay! All right, we've been covering a lot of ground the last couple of months here. We've talked about mindset, skill set, action, a lot of business stuff, a lot of life stuff. Today is about us. It's about our health. It's about our fitness. It's about our bodies and what we're doing, but also other stuff that we'll talk about. We're super excited. So today we have the lovely Mrs. Anna Rynders here. Anna is my trainer for the last almost 3 years. You know that?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
3 years.
Wow.
Poor thing.
I haven't gotten any anniversary presents.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried.
If I get 20 more pounds off, then you'll get a present.
That's all my fault. I'm so
It's zero
sorry.
your fault. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how little of this is your fault and how all of it is mine. You get all the glory for the good stuff.
This was a scary one today. I was a little nervous coming in here. I mean, you know, the whole fit thing, being a little chubby kid, like, you know, that we have our fat kid moment of the week going on, and now I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it today because I don't really want to talk about lettuce and celery and stuff.
You can talk about that good stuff. I got my own.
Kale.
Okay, good. As long
I'm
as
not
we
perfect all the time.
That's right.
So, all right, Anna, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we talk all the time. So we work out 3 days a week. You've worked with me for a while. You've dealt with my BS a lot. But you just, every day, you come with such energy and positivity, and you make me want to go, and you make me want to be better. And I know that's how you are, not just with me, but all of your clients and basically everybody that you encounter in life. And it's just so inspiring. And that's why we wanted to have you here, to talk about those things and how you get through when other people, you set a plan for somebody, and we walk away with this plan, right? We're all excited, and then we go home and eat cereal, we eat chocolate, we
And
eat
it's not like
chips.
the good cereal. It's like Captain Crunch, you know, some honeycombs. I don't even know what it is, right? Yeah. As much sugar as we can get in that milk.
Already.
Back to the moment.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. We had a couple this week, didn't we?
Oh, together even.
We did.
Jeez.
Holding hands, being fat. Beautiful thing. So, but Josh and I, obviously, we focus a lot on the kind of the work stuff, the balance of life, how we parent, how we run companies, all this stuff. But it's time we dig into us. And I think for me, and I'll just share kind of my story, and I think it's important that we all do, is it was about 3 years ago, and it was like I had to make a choice. You know, basically, did I want to live or did I not? And that was the choice that I made, and I was connected to you through somebody it was the best connection ever. But that first initial part was so scary, and I was so scared out of my mind. And I'm not usually scared, and that was one of the hardest things I've ever done, was just coming. And it seemed
That's a normal thing. There's a lot of people that become very successful, and they are terrified to come into a gym.
Yeah,
Male, female, doesn't matter.
I can walk into a room with 2,000 people and
And
not going into a gym with one person. Freaked me. I was scared to
So
death.
the problem is, though, is when you stand up in front of 200 people or 2,000 people, you can only suck in for so long.
Right, exactly.
Right? So at some point, you're going to get lightheaded, you're going to fall down. So this is, why we brought Anna in here as an honor. Anna, I'm going
You can do whatever
to
you
go
want.
with one of them.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's why I brought her here, so we can learn how to not have to suck in for 2 hours when we're doing our conversations, right?
That's our core workout right there.
That's right. Yeah, I like the twist on that. That's good.
That's a positive way to think about it.
When you're me, you got to find that silver lining sometimes. So we started, right? And then the goal was we didn't really have two major goals. They weren't too defined. It was just consistently go, right?
Consistently go. We talked about just cleaning up a few things, starting off by drinking more water, being more active, being more aware of what you were eating. So through the whole big. It takes people, if someone comes in initially and you hardcore from the get-go, tell them exactly what to eat, what not to eat, and kind of bark orders at them and order them around after they've been doing things a certain way for a long time, you're going to lose them. And I've experienced that several times. And so I learned over the years, not to do that with people. And if I gradually, you know, get to why they do what they do, you know, the times of day they do what they do, and just kind of add healthier options and things into their lifestyle works better than if I just bark at them and say, you suck, and this isn't going to work.
Yeah, and that helped me because, I couldn't rip the full Band-Aid off right away because I had to gradually ease into, get used to working out 3 days a week and doing cardio every day and all that. But I love that approach because I walked in, didn't feel judged. I walked in and left with a plan that was simple for that day. And that really connected me to the end result, which was like, if I keep doing some of these things, it's going to happen.
It's amazing. You've had great success. You look amazing, and you consistently stay at it.
Yeah. Just wear a girdle.
Yeah, wear a girdle and man girdle.
I don't know what that Spanx name for men.
Spanx for men. I love it. So I kind of like that whole approach that you had with that, is kind of ease into it and do those things, right? Because I know that a lot of people get very intimidated by just the verbiage that goes along with working out and diets, and you need to work on your bicep, and you're like, okay, I know that one I got. But then they start talking about different muscles, you're like,
you lose people.
What the heck?
Lose people. It was like if I came to you guys in your job site, and all of a sudden you start throwing out these verbiage and terms and telling me stuff, I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So like I said, in the beginning it was different because when I first started in this industry, you want to change lives, and you want everyone to listen to everything that you say and follow it 100%.
Right.
And then over time, you realize instead of giving you feelings, you're going to be disappointed all the time, because that's what happened for a while. I'm like, wow, why aren't they listening to me? I don't understand why they're not losing weight. And then you get it, and it's like, okay, well, this isn't their deal. Like, they've been doing this for years and years and years. I can't just come in one day and expect in 1 month to listen to everything that I've been telling them to do. Yeah. So I had to change my approach many times over the years, and now I do what works for me, works for my clients.
So what drove you to that though? Like what got you started in personal training? What was the motive behind it?
Always was very active. My dad was in the military, and so
we're gonna go ahead and end it right there. It says everything.
He worked out all the time, and we just were very active, and that was just part of growing up. And my dad would work out for hours on the weekend, and it was like normal for me. You know, he wasn't around a lot. He was gone a lot, but when he was around the weekends, he would wake up in the morning and literally go for like a 20-mile run, and then come back, and then go pump iron for an hour, and then come back, and then we would like hold his feet and count to like 500. We do like 500 sit-ups, and then we sit on his back, and he'd do push-ups, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go swim a mile." So then he goes swim a mile. I'm not even lying. This is what he did, and so I grew up around it, and then I started running, and he would train me, my coach would train me, and it's just what I did. I mean, I didn't know any different. When I came out here, and I told Justin this story one time, there was a girl, it was my English class when I was in school, and she's like, hey, come to my house for dinner. And I had a lot of experience with civilian people and like other people's dads. Yeah. And so when I grew up, everyone's dad was in phenomenal shape. They were like rangers, infantrymen, like SEALs, like all sorts of crazy stuff. So I go to her house, and her dad owns his own small business, and we sit down. Her dad looked nothing like the dads I knew growing up. Right. He was a typical middle-aged, overweight dad bod, total dad bod.
So something like this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
I have to get a drink of water now. And that to me was astounding. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I didn't say anything to her, but I went, does your dad not work out for 20 hours a day like mine?
Right. Yeah.
And everybody else's dad? And so, but I loved it. I mean, I started lifting weights, and then I started going to aerobics classes. And so I decided to get certified in all these classes. And so that's how I started, is I just got every certification in the sun. So kickboxing, step aerobics, all sorts of whatever came my way. And then, I taught classes for a long time. I wanted to be a police officer, actually. And then that didn't happen. And so, mostly because I wanted a family. And so it wasn't going to work out for me. Yeah. So anyhow, so I changed, and I decided over the years just to progressively make fitness my full-time profession, and I love it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a couple of attempts to make fitness my full-time profession, and I ended up in mortgages. So that's okay.
That pays your bills, right?
That does pay the bills.
Yeah. Family, that's okay. Yeah.
So 3 years ago, when I made that choice, it was I could go to the gym, I could get a gym membership, and I can go, and I can push myself and do things that I knew what to do.
Yeah.
or I could enlist the help of a professional. And as a professional myself, we always talk about don't hire or don't do something that you aren't good at, right? Stay in your lane. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And so when I did more research and I learned more about you and kind of your style and we met, the biggest takeaway for me is if you're looking to make a change, guys, if you're looking to say this is something I'm committed to, for me, I knew if I was going to get a gym membership and just go to the gym, I was going to go shorter than what I would with a trainer.
Mhm.
I would only go to the machines that I felt comfortable and knew what I was going to do. So I'd be
Yeah.
I'd be benching and I'd be doing curls. I might have the biggest chest and biceps right now. My legs be scrawny. My gut would still be what it was.
So it's called the vanity workout.
It is.
I did it yesterday. I'm a little sore today.
Good.
But
It's
good.
everything you can see in the front.
That's right.
But I learned, and I guess I had to come to grips with myself and understand what my real reality was. Is I didn't have the mental capacity or the bandwidth to make decisions on what I was going to do that day, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm going to work these specific things. I'm going to do these exercises. Then you get there and somebody else is on the machine and you're like, right? And so that was not appealing to me at all.
Yeah, almost gives you a little anxiety, right?
Oh my God.
You had a set plan. You knew what you were doing.
Yep.
That person just screwed it up.
Yep.
Right? You're like, dude, that's my machine right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And you
doing?
can't
What do I
think
do
outside
now?
the box.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing. Yeah.
So what I loved, and one of the first things that we talked about was, okay, if I come in 3-4 days a week, what is that going to look like? And I can tell you guys, this is 100% honesty. 3 years later, going at least 3 to 4 days a week,
Yeah.
we go that
Consistently,
strong.
We go hard every time.
We go hard every
Mhm.
time. I've not done the same workout twice in 3 years. We've never done a session that's been the same as the last one or one that we've done previous in 3 years.
Your trainer has ADD. That would never happen.
So talk to us about how do you prep and plan for different specific clients? What are you keyed in on? What is that? Do you spend time doing homework? What does
I
that look
do.
like?
I do. And so one of the main things is when I first start training a client, I get to know them obviously,
Yeah.
and I plan basic things because a lot of people have never really consistently lifted weights or worked out.
Yep.
So I have to get to know their bodies, their limitations, injuries, so on and so forth. So once I have that established and I get to know them, then I can go from there. So, you know, every week I know what each client is going to do, what the goals are, what the focus is. And you know how a couple times you come in like, oh, I did such and such, or you've been out of town and I had a workout planned.
Yep.
And I could change it. It's not a big deal for me to change it,
Yep.
but you always feel bad. I'm like, no, we could change, do whatever. So, which is not a big deal. But a lot of it's just being in tune with your clients. I mean, for me, I get to know them and what they can and can't do and what they should be doing and where the imbalances are in their bodies. You know, if they're, you know, I have a lot of clients that are skiers, you know, you play softball a lot. So I try to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
So, and I always just try to, it's good for your body to not do the same thing all the time anyhow.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been life-changing for me. It's tremendous how much variety there is. It makes me, I always drive down to the gym. I'm like, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
Like, I just started thinking about it. I can't wait to see what we do. It's almost, it makes it more fun and interesting.
It does.
For
It
me.
does. I do the same thing in my workouts too. I can do the same thing all the time.
Okay.
My husband likes to do that sometimes. Sometimes like we're doing a different exercise today. Let's mix it up.
And you always introduce something funky too. Like,
Yes.
okay, I don't know what we're doing.
He's watching out there.
Yeah. He's amazing. And your husband is very fit.
Mhm.
That's a big point of your life. Like, you guys are committed to it. You wake
We
up
work
4 in
out
the morning
every single day pretty much.
every day.
Yeah. So I go see clients and I'll come back and go to the gym. So, but it's nice having your partner to live with and work out. And that's just
Yeah.
important to them. But we
Yeah.
work out together all the time. The only time we don't work out together is when one of us is out of town.
Yeah,
So
that is so cool.
yeah, which is really cool. It's
We
our time
talked about
together.
that piece of it, right? Like, you got to get that buy-in from everybody else
Yeah.
and your family. Like, if everyone around you, like if Justin went home and Piper's cooking him up some biscuits and gravy and, you know, some cinnamon rolls,
She
like I
would
tried
never
to
do
feed him
that.
yesterday. What's up, Piper? Got that for tonight.
Yeah.
She'd never
And,
do
you know,
that.
that would be an issue, but he's got buy-in from her, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's such a key thing to have buy-in from all of the people around you.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because Gavin Hagashi, what's up, man? He's like, what if one of our clients has a fat kid moment? Type it in there. We'll share your
Yeah.
fat kid moment.
Yeah,
We'll get to the
right.
Type it in there.
fat
Yeah, absolutely. But I love that piece of it, what you guys are talking about, right? So I've never really done the trainer thing, and here's the reason why. I went through some training, right? I went through almost the entire thing, and I'm like, I can do this myself. The crazy thing is, even going through those, I can't do it on my own.
No.
You need that person, that partner that's going to push you in the gym.
Yeah.
Every time I've not tried to go to the gym by myself, I'm ineffective. Now, I might get some little stuff done. Yesterday, I went to the gym. I got a little bit of stuff done. I'm a little sore today.
Yeah.
That's great. I like that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me I did something. But I didn't leave the gym going, hell yeah.
I crushed it.
Exactly. I went and left the gym going, I'm pretty good for a fat kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I've got to figure out, like, I totally agree with what you guys are doing. You got to partner up. You got to get with somebody that knows what the heck they're doing.
Yeah.
I've gone to the gym several times with the same person as me, right? And we're like, okay, that looks cool. Let's go do that one. Yeah, you know, so it's, I love that piece of it. I think it's super important. I'm totally putting myself in a corner right now to tell myself that I have to, you know, do that piece of it.
Yeah.
But that, I think that's just a huge key, is that you've got buy-in from everybody around you. Justin has you, a professional, and knowing what you're doing to get that buy-in. So it's not, you can't do this on your own. Like, you have to invite other people in. We've talked about that in other phases of things that we try to do, but you have to invite other people in to help you achieve your goals. Justin, you did a good job of that. Look at you, little skinny over there.
Oh, shoot. Man Spanks. Yeah, baby.
I've had clients over the years, and just, you know, going off that, their spouses don't support them and they sabotage them, or they get jealous when their partner or the relative starts to lose weight and they're not on that journey. And so, you know, it can be difficult. It's huge to have support from people around you, people you work with every day, and like I said, your partner and your children, you know, so.
And that was a big piece. I think the first 2 sessions that we had, we really didn't do anything. We just talked.
We talked a lot.
We talked a
That's
lot.
how I get to my clients. That's key for me.
Yeah. And you asked
It's a
the right
relationship.
questions, and you really listened. You took notes. We did measurements, and so there was a baseline. But I walked away going, all right, well, hopefully I just start getting in shape by just talking, because I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I came to understand that you were doing your homework.
Yeah.
And you were really getting deep, because even 3 years later, you bring something up, a limitation I've had, maybe a knee or my shoulder or something, and you'll bring it up and be like, well, I know you caught, or you did this. And I always have to remind myself, well, that's right. I'm not just indestructible, right? There was something that happened there.
Yeah.
You are so prepared all the time. I think that was the biggest thing. Was number one was accepting in my heart and soul that I needed help.
Oh yeah, yep.
And then allowing that help to come in, and then connecting to the help was huge for me, and really being a partner with you. What I really loved was she's available. I can text you almost 24 hours a day, and we do. We text quite a bit about all kinds of stuff, but I'm able to share victories. I'm able to share losses as well. And I do. I'm pretty honest about
You're
it.
very, and I appreciate my clients that are very honest with me and tell me, because I can't help you. I can't do anything. I don't like people to come in and act like they're doing everything I told them to do, and they're not making any progress at all. And I know it, and I try to calm out, but they still, you know, are insistent that they're doing everything right, and it does nothing for anybody.
Yeah.
Well, you're in a results-driven business as well, right?
am.
We're in a results-driven
You guys,
business. We look at it, right? So
Absolutely.
here's the cool thing with your results-driven business. You can just say, hey, go look in that mirror,
I can see.
right? Did you do anything? Go stand on that scale,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where are you at? You know, I mean, yes, you can look at the body mat or, you know, all those different things to see if they're putting on some muscle. I get that piece of it, but it's so apparent. And what I love about it is that you can call people out. Not that you always will, but you should, right? Because if they're lying to you, they're also lying to themselves. And that's a very difficult way to lose weight. I lie to myself constantly. Tomorrow I'm gonna eat better.
Yeah.
Arby's sounded good on the way down. I hooked up that potato cake and Dr. Pepper, right? So, you know, it's just super important, again, to have that person in your corner that will call you out.
Yeah.
So you can hold yourself accountable. This is such a commitment.
It's a financial commitment too. I mean, and people, and that's the thing I tell them, like, you're paying me money. You know, I will take your money, of course, but I want you to get something for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's time. You have to commit the time too. You know, you're committing time. I'm setting aside time for you too. You're in my schedule. I'm expecting you.
Yeah.
So.
So one thing that we all have to deal with, being in that kind of driven by the production side, right, where the results matter, is exactly that. How do you deal personally with, you put all this time and preparation and homework into somebody, and they come in and maybe they mail in a workout and they don't do their best, or they're just, you can tell who's not in, who's off, right? And you can tell when that's happening better than we can. How do you deal with that? You go home at night and you just, is it frustrating? Is it sad? What do you do, and how do you come to terms, and then how do you get them switched?
So I think in the beginning, I talked about this a little bit earlier on when we first started, is that I took my feelings hurt a lot more when things weren't going exactly how I had it written down, planned for them.
Yeah.
Now, doing this for many, many years, people are funny and everybody has their story and they do things for different reasons. So a lot of times it's not just the workout, it's listening to them. They have something else going on. Some people, I've come to realize too over the years, they're not going to do everything I say, but at least they're working out. And some just need a friend. They like coming in. I mean, they're stuff going on in their life. They're busy. They're sad. They don't have that many friends. I mean, for whatever reason, but they come in, they're consistent. And it is frustrating sometimes. I'm like, gosh, I'll pull out all the tricks in the hat to try to turn around.
Yeah.
But when I finally realized, okay, this person is not going to do everything I say, but they keep coming in. So I'm giving them something. And that's huge for me because my work is very relational. And so if they keep coming back, I'm doing something for them. I may not see it on them, but I'm giving them something. So I can't put a value on that.
That's so cool. So you have a vested interest in
Absolutely. Absolutely I do. I love all my people.
You do.
It's really
crazy. You talk about them nonstop, and you are just so entrenched in their lives. You're not like, well, that's so and so, and I think they do something for work. And you know everything about everybody, and I think it's because you allow us in to your heart, and it allows us to break down our own walls of fears and all that stuff, so we can be honest. We can show you our, all of us, and not feel like we're being judged, and that is huge. I can't tell you how much that's meant to me. And the success that we've had, hopefully a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, huge success.
So the failure, right? So we're in the gym, and I have failures in the gym.
Oh, yes. You can
stop it.
He gets super mad. He doesn't handle it very well.
I don't. So one thing I deal with is vertigo. We talked about it on the show a little bit. Is the vertigo thing, and there are certain positions that I get in with my head or neck, and I just start spinning. And it happened not long ago. And it happens every couple of months, so I just have to kind of shut down. But how does that, when somebody's got something going on, where does your mind flip? Is it sympathy? Is it empathy? Or is it just like, okay, I've got to get to work and figure out how to fix this?
It's all of it. So especially with yours, because we know the certain positions, certain motions that we do that torque it off.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, they can be helped because if you look at something, we know why it happens whenever it happens. And sometimes it's just the pressure outside and you come in, it's just not gonna be a good day. But I'm always just a fixer. So we can okay, what happened? What do we do? Okay, making sure that you recover, you rest. And you always want to push through and do it. Yeah. And I'm always fine with that. But I always watch your body language and see how you're doing before I suggest something else. And then, I'll say, okay, we're not going to do that. I'm going to modify. And Justin doesn't like the word modify at all. Right. And so I have to remind him that I'm the professional and I have his best interest at heart. So we have to modify. And then we're fine. We always seem to push through with you. When I may have had people have surgeries. I've had people that had to take a small leave of absence because they had breast cancer or whatever, but they come back and we work around all that. We get them back to where they were or where they need to be. So I've had significant injuries in my career too that have limited at times how I train my clients. They certainly still to this day limit how I work out myself. Sure. Because I have things that I can't change, that will never change. And so having that makes me more sympathetic for clients that have things because I get it, right. And so I'm not like a 25-year-old trainer that's never had an injury and doesn't understand what big back pain feels like or knee stuff or anything else, or, just waking up achy and I have no reason why, so. Right.
That's huge. We talk about that in our industry a lot. And so we can bring that in here is people that have done it, Justin doesn't do a ton of production anymore, right? He's more on the other side of things at this point. But he gets it, right? We went to a closing yesterday. And it was like he was riding a bike. He had it down, right? He was good, right? Mm-hmm. You've been there. You've been through it. You can actually say, yes, I've been there. I get it, and truly mean that without saying, like you said, 25-year-old trainer
exactly.
saying,
I get it. And I get this, you're busy with the family and have to cook. And so, people say, well, I'm too busy, or I don't have time, or I can't cook. And I'm like, really? Because I do it, and I know that it's hard, but you can find ways to do things. Everything, I do it.
You find ways. Mm-hmm. We'll talk a little bit about your family and what an amazing group they are and what that looks like. I think so. We've talked about kind of the discipline and the getting help and partnering up and accountability and have some variety to it and diversify what you're doing and have a plan and get some professional help if you can. So that's kind of the pushing weight stuff and the actual execution.
Yeah.
Talk to us about kind of maybe the nutrition side and the food side, and maybe some tips that you could say, this typically is weight loss, or this works for performance, or what can you share?
So most of my clients coming in, they need to lose weight. So
Josh,
So you plugging my ears to this
listen.
nutrition side of it? Well,
I will be very honest. So, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it is a mathematical equation. There are a ton of different diet plans out there and everything else. What I find for my clients is if I have them keep a food log for a while, then I can go through and work with them on changing things. A lot of it's just changing how they do things. So first of all, the main thing I tell clients in the beginning is you start drinking a lot more water.
Yes.
Most of you walking around, they're so dehydrated.
4 a day of these. 4 a day.
So if they do that and then start cutting things out, for me, I'm very happy. But if you're eating junk food all the time and you're doing fast food all the time, you're eating a bunch of carbs, bad carbs at night, you're drinking. Drinking is a big one. People don't realize that, but I have a lot of clients that they drink a lot.
Yeah.
They're in a business where they go out a lot, they have a lot of dinners, etc. So if we just go through their nutrition, what they're doing, and we cut out the carbs at night, we're drinking more water, we're cutting the alcohol consumption, and we're adding a lot more vegetables to their diet.
Yeah.
We're having them actually eat. I will tell you, I have lots of clients come to me and they don't eat all day long.
Right.
And so when they go home at night, it's like they're going to the electric chair.
Ravenous.
They are eating everything. It's like someone's giving them their last meal.
I hate today. Gosh dang it.
I know people. I know, and that's just what they do. And so, getting people to eat more often, and guys tend to, and men and women are different, but it's mostly my male clients that tend to not eat most of the day because they're busy. My female clients, they eat, but they would rather have 2 Snicker bars and then nothing else the rest of the day, and then eat dinner and then sneak chips and everything else. So it's just very different people's habits. So if I could just get to know them and their habits, that's huge because every person's different. They have their own weaknesses and things that they struggle with.
Yeah.
So, but if people can drink more water, cut out fast food. God, it's terrible.
Here's the thing that you keep going back to this, and I freaking love it so much that you just know your people so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single person that is watching, that is listening, we all do something in the industry where we're working with somebody else. And some of are really good at that. Some are really good at listening and asking questions and shutting up and actually getting to know the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have like literally perfected that. You are so good at knowing exactly what these people need in their lives, and you stick with that. That is like the biggest thing to me, that you are so good at that. Because I've gone to some trainers who could really care less. What they were trying to do is make me look like them.
Yeah.
And I really didn't need to, right?
No.
So,
No,
what I need to do is just get fit for me where I'm going to be healthy. If my wife was listening today, she would be like giving me an on the water thing, because that's all she tells me is you need to drink more water. And I'm like, give me a Dr. Pepper. Okay. But so yes, I agree with you, but I love the fact, and I hope everybody's listening to this point, that you get to know every single person and what their triggers are and what gets them going. If we all did that in every aspect of our businesses, we would all be super successful.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone's different. That's funny. I give tips, but I have to get to know people because everyone needs different tips.
Yeah. I think for me, the biggest thing is, like you said, drink water, eliminate carbs after 3.
Yeah.
And that's huge. I mean, how many of us want bread with dinner? How many of us want pasta for dinner?
You're not burning
Like,
much energy later on in the day. Your body's starting to shut down. So if you were running a marathon or training for, training for a marathon and doing your long runs at night, or I used to teach a lot of classes, cycling classes, so I had to eat a lot more food, a lot more carbs because I'm teaching, several hours a day, and at evening time you're teaching an hour-long class. I'm burning more.
Did you
most
say you
people
were
are not.
training 7 hours a day, teaching 7 hours a day?
Several.
Just
But
said
there are
7. I was like ready to cry right
Probably
now.
No.
times.
Jeez.
But
So-
there were times in the past where I would teach several classes a day, which I would never do now, but I have done that because I was a yes person. So if someone said, "Oh, I need a sub,"
You're in.
I'm not a yes person anymore.
Talk to us about that a little bit, though. Talk to us about the carb piece after 3 o'clock, like Justin was saying. So to me, when I first started, like you said, everyone has 75 diets they've tried or they're currently on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say you need to limit your carbs. I would be like, okay, I get it, it's bread, but like, what else is it? Like, what are the things that I really should be putting in my body after 3 o'clock?
That you should?
What are the
Basically
good
just
things?
protein and vegetables. There's really nothing else you don't need.
That just
You really
sounds
don't.
so
And
simple.
if you are a vegetarian or vegan, you know your combination you need to do in order to not have that carbs at night.
Yeah.
So
So it's funny, and I start to feel it when we do have a heavy carb night, because we do, Italian, we were Italian the other night, and it was after a heavy workout. And that night, I just felt it. I felt just heavy and
you were taking
thick
on
and-
water,
oh
wake up the
my
next morning, you're
gosh.
heavier.
Yeah, I just didn't feel good. I would have
Yeah.
never felt that before. And now it's like my body's like, whoa,
You're aware of it.
we can't actually process what's
Yeah.
happening right now. So that's a big thing, is eliminating the carbs after 3.
What about those guys that are doing like? So my brother does these. What does he do? Triathlons and stuff, right?
That's
so they're
different.
they're loading up. They're carb loading.
You
Yeah.
need energy. Because
That's
carbs
good.
are great.
Okay.
They're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad at all.
Yeah.
But when you're doing, endurance races, etc., you need a
Yeah.
lot more energy than
Okay.
most people. Most of my clients don't expend that kind of energy, so they don't need that.
Yeah, so after 3, our badasses are maybe working out, having dinner, and sitting on the couch.
And
They're
that's-
not burning anything.
Oh,
right?
that's what the
Just
key is. Oh,
That's
shit.
why.
All right, got it, got it.
Yeah.
And honestly, you just have to be real with yourself and understand what I am. I could sit and
Yeah.
pretend that I'm going to go do stuff.
You tell me, but I know you're lying to
Yeah,
me.
the reality is
Yeah.
I'm tired. I am physically worn out after my days,
Absolutely. You want to relax.
and I have to relax and recharge. So that's
You
the
can't eat bad potato
sacrifice.
chips.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's
You
just going to go to your derriere or whatever,
Yes.
or your belly.
somewhere,
or something,
somewhere it
yeah.
shouldn't.
Yes.
But that makes sense too, because I'll eat dinner, right? And I'm heavy carb a lot at
Yeah.
dinner, and I'm almost falling asleep at like 7:30,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, what the heck? Am I 95?
Yeah.
Sorry if any 95-year-olds are watching or
Yeah.
listening, but that's the key, right? Like, why am I falling asleep at 7:30 while I'm watching it? So then my quality time that we've talked about is trying to give to my family is
Yeah.
lacking because I don't have it. I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
So it's like, those are good points. Those are things I need to incorporate into my diet.
Yeah.
And that's the key for me too, is not to call it a diet. That
It's
just
It's
upsets
really
me.
not. I don't like that either. People will follow diets, do cleanses, everything else, and I'm like, I want you to have a lifestyle change because I could write on paper what I want you to do, and then you could do that, but I know exactly what's going to happen 30 days from now.
Yeah.
You're not going to be doing that anymore.
Mhm.
So most of my clients, they travel a lot. They have a lot of business meetings, dinners, and they're very relational. My husband and I will eat things. We like to drink wine and stuff together, but I can't eat bad all day long and expect to have wine at night and then not be in shape. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
So it's a give and take. And so I know the other thing is I get to know what's important to my family or my clients and their families. And so I work around that because they're not going to be perfect all the time, but I need them to be healthier in general. So they live longer, so make different choices. And if they go out to dinner or have something, I don't want to beat themselves up over it because they're already going to feel crappy enough to where they're not going to do it again. So
Right.
yeah.
We just work extra hard.
Or I know what happened the night before and I don't say anything. So when you come in, I just handle
You can
it.
tell.
I'm the handler.
You probably get like puffy eyes. And
Oh, I can see heart hangovers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know what it looks like.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
We don't know how it looks. We just feel it. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Well, you've changed my life for the better. You've saved my life in many ways, and I can't thank you enough for that. And just sticking with it and having patience and seeing a greater vision for myself than I saw for me at the beginning. And you shared that with me. You were positive. Not every day is cheerleading. You're hard on me too. And you push me like crazy, and it's just so much of what I need, and it's changed my life, not just physically but mentally. I am more sharp and focused and achieving now than I ever have. And I think it's because the two are working hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
The brain is getting worked out as well, and it's just so incredible. So I would urge any of you guys to get somebody that you trust, somebody that you love, somebody that's on the same page, somebody that knows what the heck they're doing with a good track record. Ask for results. And that was something we talked about too. Is I told you when we sat down the first time, I wanted to be your strongest client ever, and I wanted to have the most transformation ever. And I don't know how close we are, if we're ever going to get there. But you shared that same goal with me, and you remind me of that consistently too. It's just so cool. So
next year, this time, 6-pack Justin.
yeah,
6-pack
He has
Justin.
one. He does. It's there.
It's just
there.
hiding
It's
underneath.
there.
it's
It's just
a little
really
blanket
shy.
over it.
It's so shy.
It's coming out.
My girls tell me all the time when they punch me in the stomach, they're like, wow, like that's pretty good for a fat guy. And I'm like, listen, underneath the 2 inches or 4 inches of layers, that is a straight up six pack right there, washboard right there. It's getting after it. Since we're in the middle of talking about my washboard, our fat moment of the week. Hey. Yeah. So what was yours, Justin?
You're anxious to hear, aren't you?
So can you see me twitching in my
I see how I threw him out right at the beginning. What was yours, Justin?
Mine's been a better week. I have less bad kid moments to even think about, but there was one in particular. It was at your house, and we were at your house for a party last weekend, and you brought in this amazing spread of Mexican food. You guys had catered, you and your family, and so we were there, and there was a crock pot full of like cheese. Queso.
Oh yeah, that queso my wife makes.
And then a basket of chips right next to it.
You're right.
That was my date for the night. I hung out by that crock pot for a good 15 minutes.
Piper's like, "Where's Justin?" He's
find the queso. You can have it.
Yeah.
So that was definitely one of those where I'm like, man, I could have had 2 chips with queso, or just no queso. But instead, I definitely was in control, and I did okay. But I felt myself going back and back and back a few times.
Yeah.
It was just call. I could literally hear it calling me like, "Hey, queso over here. Come on over." And I did.
Food can talk.
Food does talk.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yelling at the megaphone at me all the time.
That night was rough though,
It was
because
rough.
there was a lot of good food there.
Yeah.
That we catered some stuff in from my buddy over there at Three Margaritas up in Orchard Town Center. Shout out to Adrian.
Yay.
But he did a great job.
Yeah.
Right, the food was great. I was an idiot and had my mom make a pistachio cake and a coconut cream pie, which I hammered both of those. That was a bad night for me. Like when I had a fat week, not a fat moment day. Like yesterday, eating cinnamon rolls. It was bad. But that night particularly was rough. I mean, everybody left. There happened to be some pistachio cake left, so I had a couple pieces of that. Then I was walking by and saw the coconut cream pie.
You just grossed
and
out right
the
now.
coconut cream pie is in there, so of course I had to eat some of that. This
Can't
is
leave that
after my
alone.
third stop at the taco bar. I mean, I gotta go to the gym. I'll see y'all later. I'm out of here.
Why are you here?
Yeah, it was a rough week. The only thing I could say is because I knew Anna was coming on, so I'm like, okay, of anything, at least I gotta go hit the gym 3 times this week, which I accomplished. And I'm bailing out on today on these guys, but I'll probably get like a shake or something to go with that to make up for it. But I did get after the gym. But man, it's that discipline is where I struggle. It's funny how I could be disciplined in other parts of my life, but when it comes to food, I am terrible.
And it is so common. Look around. You hear people talk about it. It is so common. You have to decide you want it more than anything else.
Yeah.
It is. It's hard. And I have no magical pill, no magical words to say to change someone overnight. It's just a process. It is constantly a process.
What does a fat moment look like for you?
Yeah, exactly. This is hilarious.
So,
You like add peanut butter to your celery?
Oh,
No,
we can talk
do
about
have
your
2
nemesis.
oh, God,
Nutella.
Nutella.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So already I have a little anxiety because a client of mine every year has this great party at her house. Her daughter and her have been doing it for a long time. And so they have a theme. This year it's blanket. So you bring your blanket. It's like a gift exchange. You get to do it 3 times, pick whatever, take from somebody. So she tells me this morning that she's making Nutella bars.
Oh yeah, that sounds just good.
So you know what? So this is me. This is my thought process. Okay, she's having Nutella bars on Sunday. So I have to be really good the next few days. And I can't eat certain things. I'm gonna have to exercise a little hard because I know I'm gonna have the Nutella bars. Like it's not even an option.
Right.
And I don't know how many I'm gonna have. And so
You're just clearing it out right
I'm
now.
just,
You're
yeah,
just creating space.
I like how she
Yes.
prepares for her
A week
bad
in
day,
advance.
Right? Yeah, she's like, okay, I know this will
Well,
be a bad
Friday, it's
day.
gonna happen on Sunday, but I just know that I can't have really too many bad things because I have to save room for the Nutella bars.
See, I knew we were going to have the taco bar up at Josh's, and I didn't think about that until that day. Like
No,
about lunchtime, I'm like, I'll probably just have a smaller sandwich in anticipation.
Right.
Of a bigger sandwich.
And I do
That's
tell
right.
my clients, and I tell you too, if you know something's coming up, you gotta plan for it.
Yeah.
Like this I knew was coming up. I didn't know about the Nutella until this morning, so I only have a couple of days to prepare. But if there's a big event coming up, you have to negotiate with yourself during the week. Going, okay, we're having this great dinner party like yours. Sounds like it was amazing.
Yeah.
So if I was going to be your guest, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat his wife's queso because it's delicious. But I'm going to be really good most of the week, and I'm going to exercise really hard. Drink a lot of water, not have my carbs, cut down the alcohol consumption because I want to save it for your deliciousness.
Did you guys
So I
all hear about
negotiate
cutting
all the
doing
time.
that alcohol?
Yes,
Hey,
and I keep
pick
bringing
your
up
days.
alcohol, but
Right.
people, I have had clients that go home and drink 6 to 12 beers a night, or they'll drink a bottle of wine a night. And
No.
I'm not judging, I'm kind of judging. If you want, if you
are
want
actually
to lose
judging.
weight, here's the thing, if you want to lose weight, you have to change some things. And so
Yeah.
what gets frustrating sometimes for me is someone constantly complains, but they're not really changing anything. Most of my clients, if they start putting some weight on or something's not going their direction, they know exactly. Like, we didn't really have to talk about it because they just know, and they'll
Right.
adjust or they'll find whatever. But they know they're not done. They're doing this a long time with me, so they get it.
Yeah.
So no one has to be like, I don't know why I put 10 pounds on. They know why.
You know why.
We
Yeah,
absolutely
there's
know.
no.
why.
That's come on, and it's not always the thyroid, people. So
No, it's not.
That was my
Throw it
next
out there.
excuse.
Yeah,
Damn it.
Josh.
No.
Jeez,
Not the
you are ruining me today.
Hey, so before we get out of here, it's important we talk about family and what that looks like. And you have 2 of the most amazing kids.
and 2 bonus kids.
And
that
2
are
bonus
amazing.
kids that
Mhm.
we talk about all the time. I've got bonus kids, and they're wonderful. And you're creating this family. It's a relatively
It
newer
is,
thing for
it
you
is.
guys.
Mhm.
What have you found to mesh your 2 kids and Darren's 2 kids and bring everybody together? Is there anything that you do in particular that really has created this family?
Oh, well, first of all, it's hard because they're older, and so they go in different directions, and
Yeah.
they have jobs, they have sports, they have activities. So whenever I want something, I just text all of them and say, can you please put aside this night or this morning for me or whatever, so that it's in advance and they know.
And you're texting it, so they'll look at
And I'm
it.
texting.
Right.
And the thing is, none of them, I love sometimes when your kids, and this is for everybody, I didn't know you wanted me to do that. Really?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
this is
I
with you all the
said,
time.
yeah.
Like, don't lie.
Right.
I know you saw your phone.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. But I mean, in general, we have a kid around us almost all the time in the house. And so, we get to spend time with them. But in terms of having all of us together, which is precious to me, and I love that, I have to just tell them this is what we're doing. And they're very accommodating. They, they'll set aside time for us and they'll do things. And I know that, we'll do things individually. I know that Heather, Darren's daughter, loves spending time with her dad. So, she'll ask that they go to dinner together or
You
lunch or
clear out that
something.
time.
We clear out time.
Yeah.
So whenever the kids ask us something specifically,
Yeah.
we try to make it happen. It doesn't always work because it doesn't work. I mean, just life is busy some days. We have things going on. But yeah.
Right.
And then what I am so appreciative of is your family's commitment to the military. You grew up in it. Your dad was in it. Your family's in it. And now your son Hunter is in it. Talk to us about what it's like to have a son who I know you're more proud of than anything. No cry. You can cry all you want, actually. But your kids mean more to you than anything else in the world. I know that. But watching him kind of come into his manhood through military, what is that like?
Crazy. When he was little, he always wanted to be in the military, and he talked about it all the time. And so the kids talk about that. I want to be a fireman or be a teacher or a doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I went with him in high school several times to visit several different recruiters because he kept entertaining us. But I think that he wasn't quite sure, and he wanted, his dad really wanted to go to college too. I wanted to go to college as well. And so we kind of negotiated and said, try a semester and see how it goes. And he was miserable. And so he just went to ACC, and I paid his tuition that semester, and it wasn't for him, but he tried it.
Yeah.
He has thrived since he joined the Army. I mean, thrived. He'll tell you, he is the happiest he has ever been. He sleeps well at night. He loves it. He had a special training a few weeks ago, the Special Forces guys, and there's a group of them, and it was the most fun week he had ever had.
Yeah.
Just doing whatever he was doing, which was really fun for him. So
Stuff we don't know about.
I'm very proud of him. It was hard initially, once he made the decision to commit and join the military, it was hard only because as a mother and a father, any parent, I know his dad worries too, you join for a certain job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as you know, things change in the world. And so if they need your child somewhere that was not in this contract you signed, it's not this computer job or something else, they're going to go there. And so, you know, they have ultimate control over your life. And even growing up, I saw it with my dad. Our family, his family wasn't first.
Yeah.
It was his country first, always.
Wow.
Always. That was just how it was. I didn't know any different. And the same thing for Hunter is that even if he wants to be somewhere with family, he has to go where he needs to be at. Yeah. So, you know, it's, you know, he has a great job. He loves it, but there is a risk factor.
Sure.
And so I shed many tears crying in my husband's lap, literally. But, you know, I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
So.
You should be.
Yeah, thank you.
You've raised some amazing kids. Ash is
Thank you.
an amazing person, and she is coming into her own as a senior in high school. And
Senioritis, her and Hillary, yeah.
highly
I
productive.
think it happened
Love it.
before the first day of school started. No lie, both of them had senioritis.
Senioritis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, but you know, but they love it. They're both great girls. Ash is the 4-year varsity team member on Tom's. We at Arapahoe we call Tom's Team Tom's.
Yeah.
She's in varsity all 4 years, which she's super proud of. I am too. She's captain.
Didn't they just
this
do
year.
really good in the state thing?
They did. They didn't place in the final, but they did amazing. They looked
Yeah,
better than they
good.
had. And
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
they looked amazing. You know, so just seeing her grow, seeing her do something she's loved for a long time, has been nice. And it's been up and downs too. I mean, it's hard. It's been hard on her body.
Yeah.
She was in a car accident earlier this year, so she's been kind of struggling with that too. Still dancing, still having that worked on. You know, Heather's doing a ton of stuff in preparation for stuff that she wants to do too. So they're just busy, and I'm proud of both of them. Seeing them, you know, continue their senior year, trying to navigate who they are, what they want to do, and then make us frustrated and angry sometimes too, because that's
Because they
what
are
do.
kids, right?
Because they're kids. You forget that they're still
Yes.
kids. But just, you know, a lot of it, I can't. When your kids get older, you can't control them like you could when they're little. And I see my friends with toddlers, I'm like, I miss that because I could sit them in a plate and they'll stay there. I know where they're at, I know where their friends are.
Yeah.
I know, you know, and so now you don't have that control, nor do I want to control them all the time like that anyhow. So
I love your buy-in though for your kids, right? Like you said, they need to navigate, right? It's not you're not navigating them;
No.
they're navigating, but you're just supporting, right? And you're hoping, you know, guide them if they take a wrong turn or something. So I love that piece of it. I love the fact that, you know, you're so supportive of your son. Hey, he tried the college thing, wasn't his. That's okay. You know, it's not for you. What is for you? Because when everything's said and done, we do try to angle our kids in a direction or whatever, right? But when it's at the end of the day, it's their choice.
Yeah.
It's what's going to make them happy. And as a parent, are you getting on board with what makes your kids happy, right? Instead of what would make you happy. And I've been guilty just like anybody else on some of those things. My daughters may not want to play certain sports. Guess what? They played them, right? But, you know, maybe they wanted to dance and they should have done it.
Yeah.
But so I just love how on board you are with your family, what they want to do, and how supportive you are of letting them navigate their own direction. That's huge. And I really love that. It's awesome.
All right. I think we're wrapping this thing up. Did you have fun?
Get it.
I had a great time. Thank you.
You were nervous.
I was very nervous.
Fine.
Because
Josh, before we cue, Anna, can you give us 3 things as we head into the new year that this group of fat kids and our audience that maybe not as fat as we are, just 3 things going into the new year quickly, just say focus on these 3.
Okay, so first of all, I do want to say if people want to hire a personal trainer, if that's something that's on your radar,
Get your number out there.
yeah, can we?
Yeah, give it.
Heck yeah.
And then
I
we'll
can-
put it on there. Say it.
Everyone's
Plug
gonna
it.
have my number?
Oh,
Well, that's fine. 303-514-1293. But we have amazing trainers at our studio. Justin can, you know, attest to this.
fantastic.
We have amazing trainers, and we have several that have openings going into the new year. So please contact me because I can pair you up with someone that I think will be amazing for you.
And where's your studio?
It is DTC area, so it's Arapahoe and Holly, and
Cool.
so I manage it for the owners, Mark and Amanda McCall, and they live in Florida. And so, you know, let me know what you want, and I'll just make sure you get it. Second thing is just commit to be more active. So do things. I mean, a lot of people say it, but just I don't care if you're walking every day. Get a dog that'll make you walk, and drink more water. Drink water. Less
Drink
alcohol.
Water.
Less alcohol, more water.
Thank you.
Walk your damn dog. Get a dog.
Get a trainer.
Get a dog.
Get a
And
dog.
I will tell you, and everyone thinks a trainer is not affordable. And so a lot of our trainers will, they'll partner up people. And so you work out in a
Yeah.
small group. So on the work with you. Even if you see a trainer just once a week, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, at least they can give you some ideas, things
And
to
you do
learn.
stuff, absolutely, yes.
So, Anna, I love you. You are amazing.
Thank
You've
you.
changed a lot of lives.
You make me cry again.
Oh, stop
My
it.
nose is already running. Can I put my nose on here?
We actually work out in 2 hours, and I'm hoping you're going to take it easy on me.
Whatever.
Thank you. Means the world.
Yeah,
Thank you. Nice
thank
to
you
meet you,
so
Josh.
much. You as well.
And Carl, it's beautiful. Thank you.
This was fun. You guys, thank you so much. We're heading into the holiday season. I don't know if we're on next week. Are we on next week? I don't even know.
I don't know. What's next week? We got Christmas. We're on next week. We're not on the week after that.
Yeah,
we might be
yeah.
on the week after. I don't even know.
We don't know.
Just we'll let you know.
We're
Don't
on
worry
next
about
week.
that. That's right. That's it.
So more to come, but if you need help, if you need anything, contact us, contact Anna. We're ready to go, but thank you.
Yes, thank
All
you
right,
so much.
let's go win this weekend.
See you guys. Nothing but love for you. Eat better. Eat right. Right. Just make
Less
some
booze, more
minor
water.
adjustments. That's it. A lot of water. Get after that water.
Walk your damn dog.
Hey, and if you're bored tonight, where are we going to be at, Justin?
We're going to Bone Thugs Harmony Concert.
That's right.
tonight.
Fillmore, gangster rapper, and Damon Eddie. I get to wear that because I don't know. Justin's more important to me. He gets to wear the professional gear. All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
See ya.
Bye.